Pat's taken out of the house on Park Avenue.
No.
See? I didn't know either.
Mike's fostering all of them.
We are
21.
live.
Okay, I'd like to call this finance legislation meeting to order. Ms. Scully,
Here.
Mr. Beagle.
Here.
Okay, we got 4 pieces of legislation. Do you wanna go over this first?
Sure, we can.
Yeah.
So this, I know we've been discussing this, John Bralich sent us this. We wanted to print out some nice color copies, so I don't know if you guys want to discuss this or take this home, look it over, cause there's a lot of information here. On the first, it kind of gives you the numbers, so all the numbers, he gave us 4 different scenarios. So all the numbers, V1, V2, V3, and V4, are all the different layouts of how those numbers would be switched. But then there's the current ward, what we have now, and then there's 4 different
Boy,
layouts.
V1 seems very, very close as far as population goes,
Yes.
just on appearance.
Yeah.
So V1
And they're-
on here, look at the numbers, they're all 25.
Yeah,
all-
they're very, very close for V1. And I'll stay out of this because it doesn't affect me. The voting ward doesn't
No.
affect me, it affects you guys. Doesn't affect Jimmy either.
But what's the major change? I mean, it's really hard to figure out which,
On this one, I think, on the first ward change, it is the Wilson, and Como, right there would be considered second ward. That's the one change there, in Sells Avenue. So I think you almost have to do one of these to, like, pull it up to the
Yeah.
light kind of thing, but there's,
Wilson and
there's a couple, and then even for first ward, it would take Riley, Fourth, and some along Fifth Street there. So not a big change, but that's what you guys,
So we have to choose one of these, scenarios?
we don't have to choose one of these, but we can tell him we like this more. If there's suggestions, we can give them to him, he can play with the numbers again, but these are the 4 that he came up with that have the best set of, numbers. So number 1 is the least amount of change on this one. And we can go as much as change as the other way.
I'm
okay with whatever, honestly.
I mean, I
Any
don't,
thoughts, Lori?
But this is something too, don't forget, we wanna put this,
Oh, yeah, you know.
this would have to go through
Yeah.
a few
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah, that's the
to
thing,
encourage the
like,
public
even Sells
to
Avenue,
come
like, I
to
have
the
people
meetings,
that I
that
know
way
on
they can,
Sells, so
if
like,
there's anybody
if they
who
take
doesn't
that
want
away
that.
from me, they take,
Well, you're gonna gain. 'Cause
yeah,
you
but
were
if
the
you take
least.
Sells, like, I mean, I don't know everybody, but, you know, there's,
I'm sure where they're taking some, you're picking up others,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know what I
sure.
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, but that's only on the first one. So that's,
4 looks cleaner, it looks like a cleaner, straighter lines,
I would say that
Yeah,
too.
wonderful.
you know what I'm saying? The other one's got little pieces here and there.
Yeah, 1 seems like the population's the closest, but it's really, parts of it are kinda jogged.
That's what I was getting at. 4 looks like it's a cleaner line and probably would be easier for the average person to,
3 looks really choppy to me.
yeah.
What do you think
Yeah,
there,
it
Mr.
does.
Baez?
I like number 1, it's even, all the way throughout.
your neighbors wouldn't be in the ward,
Yeah.
your neighbors. On number 1.
I think I like 4 the best, too.
4 looks like it's a cleaner draw of lines.
Where your house is?
Yeah, that's true.
That's only what's in,
Bob
thing I don't
gets
like
Oh,
about
that's
the
Fifth
first one.
Street, yeah.
No, that's
But we can
8th
take it
Street.
home and.
That's
you
8th
know,
Street,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's,
digest it. Don't you think?
but again, this is something,
I know, I
we
tried
don't
to
even
look
have
at
to
it
go
too
over this
online.
right now, but this is something I think you guys need to look at, all of the ward council. Um,
Oh, yeah.
But again, if there's any
See how it gained
things that
Wilson
you're
here.
dead set against, we can have them look at other, these aren't for sure, you know what I mean, we can,
Gotcha.
these are just suggestions, so we can go back to the table and have them look and say, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, so these are just suggestions.
I mean,
But it
they're,
brings us within the ordinance, and it makes us
makes you compliant.
compliant with the ordinance.
4 definitely seems the cleanest.
Right.
okay, well, we'll take these home, look them over, and then we can talk about them in the next committee meeting, or There's no rush to bring this out
No,
tonight.
we just have to pass it, I think by, is it next May? I think it's next May.
Next May.
Isn't it next May?
It's a year or something, not,
Yeah.
We were like a year out.
Yeah, 4 looks good. I like
But we also wanna give, the public time to come so we can post these on social media so they can see them and then open it up for public comment at any of the, we would have to go 3 readings, so any of the council meetings, that way if we do have any pushback from anybody for one reason or another, they have the opportunity to come.
Sure.
I know they suggested at one point having a public hearing. Personally, I don't think
Our
it's
council meeting,
necessary.
it can be a public hearing.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Public
But that's
forum,
up to.
basically is every
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
anyway.
I agree.
But again, that's up to you guys.
Anybody else have anything before we go into legislation?
I have there's a bunch of announcements,
Yeah, I saw that.
and I really wanted to bring up really quickly, we met with Norfolk Southern today, so I know we briefly discussed it, but we're gonna have probably one of the biggest events that we ever have in the city ever. They told us to predict anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 people to come see this locomotive. So on Monday, we're gonna have a meeting with our department heads, some of the business owners, Alan and Brian will be there, to go over an overall aerial view, how we're gonna do this, the logistics of everything, for when this comes on July 12th, because we have already have people saying they're gonna come and leave their car overnight, and that's not gonna happen. We're gonna have a clear guidelines, clear set of where to park, where not to park, where you can view, where you cannot view.
So it's
But this is a
controlled
huge-
chaos instead of just
Yes.
chaos.
We're gonna
But
have
this is a
any
huge-
type of, are you gonna think about any type of shuttle?
Yes, so we meet with the school tomorrow for the Fifth Street project, we're gonna ask them if that's something that we can have, any kind of buses from, we have to go over everything, so none
Yeah,
of this is set in
yeah,
stone,
right.
but possibly parking at the acreage we have on Bob Steen Way and shuttling people closer, and utilizing the senior van for sure, but this is gonna be a huge, they told us whatever we're thinking, times it by 10.
so what
This
time,
is gonna be
time is the train
the
gonna,
train is going to stop at 11:30.
what
it'll
time do
be
you
there till
plan
12.
on?
There's people, we've been getting calls from people from Pennsylvania, I got a call from, people that run a group of autistic adults who love trains, that are coming from very far away. We've been getting calls, barber shops have been calling me saying, hey, this is the talk of the town, like, just be prepared. We've been getting calls from everywhere, and we didn't have an answer, cause we found out on the news the same day everybody else did.
Is this the only local stop?
Yes, the next one is Conneaut,
Yeah,
and that way I think it's like, in PA, it's like 2 hours away too. So
I wonder how we got chosen.
we're just lucky.
I guess.
They did say they pay attention to a lot of social media that places do, and I think that's we have a great outreach on our social media.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why, but they said they do look at different cities and that plays a big role.
Good, that's a
But I
positive.
think we're just lucky
That's a
for it.
plus.
I think we should turn it into the biggest party it could be as far
Yeah.
as food and,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
It's
talked
bringing
about
the
forever.
attention to Struthers. We should return the favor and play off of it for ourselves even as much as we
Absolutely.
can.
We're gonna turn this into our 250th celebration.
Perfect.
Chief Roddy's already looking at different coins and different things we could do. We talked about doing our farmer's market, our first farmer's market that day, and they said, if you're doing anything for the first time, do not do it that day.
Yeah.
Like, just make the focus be
I would agree.
about this. But there's a lot of different ideas, that's why we gotta get everybody around the same table and figure out what's going on. But we will have a clear set of guidelines, places to park, where to go, when to see it. We'll have that all laid out with Norfolk Southern as soon as possible.
It
So
said
we're
something
not
about
trying to-
tickets too, do they have to have
There's no
tickets?
tickets.
Okay.
There are no tickets. No.
What day is this?
This is July 12th, it's a Sunday.
July 12th.
Yes. Yeah, we have the Roar from Rotary, the amateur radio group. They're like how they do the parades, they're already involved, so this is gonna be big. We might have to call on Camel, we might have to call on for police.
Will we
We're gonna,
need music?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean,
I got a PA, I could play.
Jim, if you're offering,
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I got a, like, it's like a DJ, that kind of thing.
That would
I
be-
could
I
set up
think that would be
somewhere
great.
and,
they're, like, again, like I said, we're not meeting till Monday about this, but there's even a potential of setting up a small stage area with a big.
Where is it exactly gonna stop?
So that's where the guy came today trying to kind of look at where this was gonna take place, because in the article it said east of Bridge. Well, east of Bridge, we need it down, so they'll make sure they're gonna have it, we
In the
think.
open, yeah.
It'll be almost west of, a little bit west of Bridge, so it's right there, but there's a bunch of different things
guess-
that are, it's attached to. Or that are
The way the
attached.
railroad runs though, you could also have it down by the kayak launch. I mean,
There can
that's
be- there
east
can
of
be
Bridge
watch.
and that's open and there's a ton of open space there.
Right,
Versus if it stopped, say, by Donavito's, the street's blocked,
but that's where
everything's
it stopped,
blocked.
it's gonna stop in between like Donavito, Sela area
Okay,
there, but they said
It's
be
good for the
prepared for
restaurants.
people to be set up all the way down, cause even if they
Okay.
don't go to the main part, if they're not fond of crowds or anything like that, they will set up along the whole
yeah,
route.
don't mind, agree.
It's gonna be hard not to see that train anyway.
Yes,
It's that
It's
big?
huge, it's the
Oh,
largest
it's a
it's-
big
train
one,
ever.
it's on the news.
it's called the Big Boy.
I thought
But
of the restaurant when they said,
It's the biggest
Big
train
Boy, I
ever
thought it
built,
was-
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
engine ever
like
built.
the Big Boy restaurant.
But this is really, really huge for our city, and it's gonna be something we're not
Cool.
ever gonna all of us see again, so.
That'd be
We're
good.
Okay.
preparing, so if you get questions, we'll have the information out as soon as possible, like I said, we're meeting Monday with department heads. We have to clear everything with Norfolk Southern, we'll have it all ready to go. So, questions we can't really answer
Yeah.
definitively right now, but we're getting prepared.
I have a question on the houses that are being built, they're
Mhm.
coming along really nice.
Yeah.
There is a timeline that they have to be done, right?
Yes, we're,
Just so people that are listening will know that, you know, when is it supposed to be done, when are they supposed to
I
be
think
done?
within, they've been moving so fast, so I don't know when they're gonna be done, I know, the timeline was October to
Okay,
have them sold.
oh,
But they are moving faster
yeah,
than
they're,
we ever
yeah,
thought.
they're nice looking
Um,
houses so far.
While we're talking about that, we actually picked up Mike on the side of the road last week. We've got invited to walkthroughs, so every other Thursday, I forwarded the thing to Megan and I plan on talking about it today. So on Thursday, at 8:30 on the 14th, anybody that wants to walk through any of the houses, they just go over with with Joe Koch, to see, just so you can
Yeah.
see what they look like. It's really pretty cool. But we went to a couple of the houses. Some of them
Very
it's
nice.
just the main foundation, but they're going up very fast.
Yeah,
So
they are.
you guys are invited on. It'll be every other Thursday. I'll keep sending the invites out, but the 14th is the next one at 8:30. And then if you're interested, let me know. I'll text you where we're gonna start, what address we're gonna
Okay.
start at. But I think
Yeah,
you guys should come. And then Dylan's house is gonna be May 19th. The ribbon cutting is at 11:30. So the open house starts before that.
That's the one
and then
on
when
Wilson, right?
that's the one on Judith Lane.
Judith Lane.
Yeah, that one's up and.
The one on Wilson gets sold?
Yeah, the one on Wilson did get
I
sold.
thought I seen some people walking around the yard and stuff.
Yep, that one got sold. And they said, when we met with them last week, they said they have had such an influx of applications for these houses. They're excited because they've already been through this process with Youngstown. Some are qualifying and some are not. So, we'll see. But a lot of people are saying, well, I want this house specifically, I want this house, which they can't like hold a house, is what they're asking. Can I, before they're built, but it's exciting.
Yeah, I think they look great,
Yeah, they
that's for
do.
sure.
They really do.
Ryan is doing, and I emailed you separately, Ryan is gonna do any new city employee pictures on Thursday. Anytime between 8 and 3, I think he said.
8
Or if you wanna update your picture as well. You're more than
Tomorrow, you mean?
Thursday,
Next
next.
Thursday.
Next Thursday, okay.
Yes. And then there's a couple announcements in here, we did do there's a First Energy thing, there's volunteers needed for this, we posted for the community garage sale, Struthers cleanup day, we're gonna have a lot more for Struthers cleanup day, we're just praying for no rain.
Good luck.
And then music at Monthy, Jim Ballack is on the schedule for that, that's been posted as well. There's a watershed cleanup coming up, I think that's it.
Jim, you taking
We got a
requests?
lot of announcements
Yeah,
that
you
we
got
got.
any?
The cleanup day, are they having a
Maybe.
tire drive?
Let me know,
Yes.
Alright,
Are you having an electronic drive
Yep.
that day also?
Yep, everything's on the poster.
But no
No
TVs.
TVs. No TVs,
none this year,
no TVs.
Okay.
We didn't do it last, fall either.
okay. The
There's not,
tires,
tires,
Good
yes,
tires going.
dollar tire, has to be a
good
resident,
deal, I'm telling you right now.
$1 a tire?
dollar tire.
Unlimited?
I think, did we put 10? Did we put 10?
No, you didn't.
It's usually $6 other
No, we
places.
didn't put dollar tire.
4 or 5. Limited.
There's no
Okay, let's
limit.
move on. I don't want my street department getting mad. They gotta deal with all those.
I'll be showing up with a dump truck.
I guess somebody wants to bring us a bunch
As
of
long as they're residents, they have to
They
be
are.
residents. Cause I think we are gonna check IDs.
business too.
Michelle and I and Anthony are working on the language for the facade grant, so we're hoping to get that out in the next couple weeks too. So that'll be we'll PR that.
Maybe we can talk to the bowling alley down here to get something done, cause it looks kinda crappy.
The only part of that, they were able to apply for the CIC money, so we said we were keeping that
Oh, yeah,
Out
cause
of
they're
it, because
downtown,
they
right?
got-
'Cause they're-
It has facade grants for citywide,
citywide, except for the downtown area that
Gotcha.
was allowed to apply
Gotcha.
for that. Or we can say that did not receive,
Okay,
cause they may be one of the only ones that didn't,
didn't get it.
They didn't ask for it, or did
they did, I think there was some.
Oh.
There was some,
I mean, the
Issues
awnings
with-
look, they're
Yeah.
tearing apart, I mean, they look bad.
Mhm.
Let alone, I drive that Pullen Avenue in and out of Struthers every day. And with all the cars in the mechanics places and that, it looks like crap coming into Struthers that way. It really does.
That's a main corridor too.
well, I will say we met with Renee from EDG, she's the one that's doing the Fifth Street and the downtown. So we have plans to fix the corridor, which is that main corridor coming in and out of the city, along with some plans that we have for the bridge right by the kayak launch, that I can show you guys pictures.
I'll be
of.
honest too, the downtown obviously is very important, but it's always gotten facade grants and generally they were
Yeah.
limited to downtown.
Yeah.
The rest of the city, if you owned a business, kind of had been neglected through
Sure,
that
yeah,
point
I
where
agree.
there's always things available for downtown. I like it that the facade grant has now pushed out to the outlying areas of the rest of the city businesses.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we tried to spread them out last time, and it would be, if this is something we could keep doing every year,
Yeah.
instead of every couple years, I think that would make a huge difference, we'd be able to see a lot more.
Plus, you would be able to, okay, this year, or next 2 years, we've done the rest of the city.
Yeah.
We can bring it back to downtown for a year.
Yeah.
Back out, I mean,
So we match up to 5,000, I think you said?
Yep, up to 5,000.
That's a
so
lot
they
of money.
put
Beautiful.
5,000, you get $5,000.
So it's up to
Spend
5,000.
10, get
Spend
5 back.
10, get 5. They don't have to spend that much, we had some the last round that only spent 7,000, we gave them 3,500, so
So it's
half,
half of what they
half,
spend. you
but
can-
no more than 5,000.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, anything else?
Sorry, that was a
No.
lot.
Thanks.
Alright, good.
Needed that.
All right, then we'll go through legislation. We have 4 pieces here. The first one is an ordinance establishing the position, salary, and employment provisions for full-time park caretaker laborer, a non-classified service appointed by the mayor, retroactive to January 1st, 2026, for said employee, repealing ordinance number 26-032, and any ordinance inconsistent herewith, and declaring an emergency. Did you wanna talk about this at all?
So the only reason we're doing this is because it's a new employee, and so everything stayed the same except for the 90-day clause, so the 90% of 90 days. I think the blanket would cover, we're gonna check with John and Chrissy to see if the remember last year when we did all the ordinances and then we did a blanket correcting that
Yeah, yeah.
90%,
I forgot to put in the new ordinances.
yeah,
Who's new employee?
Charles Sawtell,
So
He's been
Brian,
to council.
Brian's out?
Brian's retiring.
Okay.
So Charles he started on Monday, but this just adds that on there, but we have to get with John to see if the blanket will cover for this year too. If we could, or we have to do a new blanket for that instead of bringing out every single ordinance again. But she's already put them in.
Is he the arborist?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, he's a certified arborist.
and a master gardener as well, so.
That's good.
That's
We're
perfect fit
lucky
then.
to
Yeah.
catch him. We're working on time schedules now. He's super organized. So we'll have Roddy Klim and Bob Zetz in the mornings, and then he'll be there around 2 o'clock. So this is gonna be a little different, cause we'll have somebody at the park in the afternoons now.
He's gonna work afternoons. Good.
Which will be nice, because then
Yeah.
we'll pretty much have someone there,
All day?
yeah, and with the splash pad coming,
Makes sense.
we don't know what this is gonna look like, and we're actually gonna be bringing this back to council here in a little bit, because there's gonna be some added responsibilities that we wanna chat about, because we have Nebo, we're gonna be adding a lot to that, and then at the end of May, that kayak launch is gonna be done as well. So we're gonna need, there might be some added,
Maintenance, yeah.
which we'll discuss at a later time, but just so you're,
Okay.
that's there, but that's why this one, because he's a new employee.
Okay. Motion to bring it up.
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Okay, the next ordinance, an ordinance authorizing the auditor to transfer the sum of $5,000 from the 2026 general fund budget category 100-9100-590003, transfer to elderly fan fund to the revenue category 26500047101, and declaring an emergency. Motion to bring it out.
Make a motion?
Second.
Next one, an ordinance authorizing the auditor to transfer the sum of $90,000 from the 2026 general fund budget category transfer to police pension number 100-9100-59004 to the police pension fund number 805-000-47101, and declaring an emergency. Motion to bring it out.
Make a motion.
Second.
And the last one is an ordinance authorizing the auditor to transfer the sum of $65,000 from the 2026 general fund budget category transfer to fire pension number 100-9100-59005 to the fire pension fund number 810-0000-47101, and declaring an emergency. Motion to bring it out.
Make a motion.
Second? And that will be it for the legislation. Anybody have anything else?
I do,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, we are working, our state auditors are still here, and there's something with the legislation that we did with the aqua rates in 24 and 25, there's a line that we need to add into the legislation, so we're getting clarification from Aqua, and making sure it's okay with our auditors, so that will be in front of you next week too. So I'm not sure exactly what this,
So will be added
That,
on.
that'll be
Yeah.
added on next week, so we'll talk about it in caucus and bring it out.
yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything for this committee?
Yes.
Motion-
No,
yes.
I'm kidding.
Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second?